I think long sustained drives, keeping the ball away from Kansas City, is the method.
Pearl Sports Center. Jags won 6 straight, including the postseason, the third longest streak in franchise history. Later, the Eagles look to beat the Giants for the 3rd time this season, and since the 1970 merger, teams are 15-9 in the playoffs when looking to beat an opponent for the 3rd time. College hoops Cameron Indoor Stadium. Duke leads 17th-ranked Miami 57-51 midway through the second half. The Hurricanes are looking to avoid 3 consecutive road losses for the first time since losing 7 straight in the 2020-21 season. Meanwhile, at Allen Fieldhouse, number 14 TCU up big on second-ranked Kansas, 33-15 in the first. Catch the Big 12 showdown on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app, as Kansas seeks to avoid back-to-back losses for the first time this season.
Coming up Monday, we'll recap everything from the Eagles and the Giants big-time matchup. Which NFC team is most likely to make the Super Bowl? Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Monday morning at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Both of these teams turn it over, and both of these teams can rip your heart out with explosive plays.
Wide open is Jamar Chase! Forget about it!
That's why it's going to be one of the most exciting games of the year.
He is right when he is on the field. Jamar Chase is right up there with any of them, if not the best of the group.
There's no question about it. He's a young, studied guy coming from LSU early on in the preseason. Many of us thought, what are we doing here? A lot of the cases, but that was more about nervous and understanding the NFL game. Once the regular season started, the rest has been history since he landed in Cincinnati. I don't see why it would be different against Buffalo, but here's what I would say. They've got to make sure to protect Joe Burrow if they plan on getting the football to Higgins, to Chase, and the rest of the cast of characters on the offensive side of the ball. The one thing they got going for themselves is Buffalo doesn't rush the passer all that great. So if the offensive line, the makeshift offensive line, can hold up, then he'll have the time to get the ball down the field to that plethora of wide receivers.
And to Key's point, because Buffalo doesn't rush the passer all that great, conventional wisdom would tell you that the Bills might think about trying to manufacture pressure with blitzes. Well, that's suicide against Joe Burrow, because Joe Burrow has the 3rd most touchdown passes against the blitz of any quarterback this year in the National Football League. So I think the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott, they'll try to put an umbrella on those receivers, playing a lot of shell coverages, which opens up the underneath passing game to tight ends and running backs. And Joe Burrow has shown that he's capable of being able to get the football to his running backs out of the backfield. They have the 5th most yards receiving from running backs of any team in the National.
They're basically coming out and saying that we want to lose this football game because this is the best wide receiver group in the National Football League.
Well, you are asking for trouble. I totally agree with that, because there's no question that those 3 can wreck the game very, very quickly. On the flip side, Stephon Diggs always feels like one of those guys who's just as great as it gets. 3 100-yard playoff games with the Bills since he has gone over there, and he still doesn't feel like he touches the football nearly enough, Key. And we talk about Josh Allen's turnovers and all that. This is one of those guys where wherever the matchup is, it feels like they have to find him on the field, and he needs to be targeted 10, 12, 13 times.
Well, I think he does get his opportunities, but you still got Knox, you still got Davis. They're still trying to figure out Cole Beasley and adding some different wrinkles in there. You don't want to force the ball to Stephon Diggs. What you want to do is you want to get him the football, but you want to put him in the right positions so that he doesn't have to stress and work so hard to get open. And I think that's the struggles that you have with a young offensive coordinator in Ken Dorsey, understanding there is no option other than 14 at certain times throughout the game. And Josh Allen knows that. This is why Josh Allen could tend to get himself in trouble trying to push the football to Stephon Diggs at times. Here's what I would say, though. Whatever Cincinnati does in the secondary, find 14, double him at times, reroute him and put your hands on him at times, and make Josh Allen pull the football down, recock and load, and find somebody else.
Yeah, I think this is going to come down to the patience of the Buffalo Bills offense, being able to methodically march the ball downfield, because Lou Anarumo's defense doesn't give up a lot of big plays in the playoffs. So it's going to come down to Josh Allen. Can he be patient enough to methodically drive the ball down the field? The Bills are a big play offense. There's a reason why they're top 5 in 20-plus yard plays in the National Football League on the season. So it's going to come down to driving the ball down the field. 8-play, 10-play, 12-play drives. If they can do that, if they can demonstrate that level of patience and discipline, then I think they give themselves a good chance of being able to score points against this Bengals defense.
Well, see, that's the chess piece for me, though, Chris, because history tells us that the Buffalo Bills as an offensive unit and Josh Allen, they're not going to do that because those are the times that Josh Allen get in trouble. Most of his turnovers comes from zone coverage, not man coverage. He thrives in that. But it's when you have the electrifying arm and you can make every throw on the football field and you're used to hitting a home run play, when teams make you methodically work that football down the field, at times you can get impatient. Can he keep it together? Can he not try to be Superman and He-Man, in which he tried to do in 2020 in the AFC Championship game, and it cost him versus the Kansas City Chiefs? Can he stay to the script and make the plays underneath when he has to?
Chiefs have been opportunistic. They have forced 11 turnovers over the last 2 years in the postseason. It's just, will they be able to force Josh Allen into those bad decisions again? And if so, there's just taking complete advantage of it and making sure you capitalize as many times as it comes, because we know that the Bills are going to put the points on the board. Playoff preview with the pros, presented by Progressive Insurance. Let's head out west.
Cowboys and Buccaneers.
Cowboys 4-point underdogs against the 49ers. And listen, when we look at the Cowboys and their pass rush, they have the second best pass rush win rate in all of the NFL, Key. And I'm wondering, how much are they going to be able to get to and rattle Brock Purdy? Because if you're trying to do it against him with the blitz, he has been excellent against it this year.
Well, look, you got a better pass rush without blitzing. You don't have to do that, but here's what you have to do. You have to get up on them the same way you did with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now you have to make Brock Purdy beat you. You have to put the offensive linemen on their heels, move Micah Parsons away at times from Trent Williams. Find the weak link, and Canty knows this in the offensive line. Where's the duck? Where's the duck? That's the side you come off of. Now let's see if Brock Purdy can match point for point with Dak Prescott if they're able to get up early and often in this football game, because we haven't seen Brock Purdy do this. We've seen him play from ahead many times in these games, but not from behind in double-digit deficit. So let's see if they can do that to put the football in his hands, and let's see if Kyle Shanahan can work a miracle to keep him on track to being the story in the National Football League playoffs.
Completely agree with Key. The Dallas Cowboys defense has to find a way to be able to put this game on Brock Purdy, and to me, that means creating negative plays on first and second down. Early downs and distances, throwing the San Francisco 49ers for a loss in the run game, being able to slow that down, creating longer second downs, longer third downs, and then forcing Brock Purdy into mistakes against coverage followed up with four-man rush. I think that has to be their formula for success. I don't think the Cowboys front seven can stop the 49ers defense without a lot of movement, without some stunts, without some blitzes early, because the 49ers are the more physical team. If you look at their run game in the 6 Brock Purdy starts, the 49ers have gone over $150 rushing in each one of those starts. So we want to put the game on Brock Purdy. I think that's something that's easier said than done, but if the Dallas Cowboys are going to be able to do it, it's going to have to be because of the run blitzing early on by Dan Quinn to create negative plays, force second and long, third and long.
Well, see, that's why for me, when I look at Dallas from a defensive perspective, the game to me is going to be on Dan Quinn. Because when I looked at this matchup last year, you want to know how many sacks the Dallas Cowboys had? A goose egg, 0. Brock Purdy is what, a rookie? We just talked about earlier about Evan Neal being a rookie, right? Mm-hmm. He's a rookie. Make him look like Chris Canty. What did y'all do to rookies when y'all played them?
We made him look like rookies.
You made him look like a rookie.
Yeah.
At any moment, if they make Brock Purdy feel comfortable, I think one leg up San Francisco 49ers. So they're going to have to get erratic and make things erratic for Brock Purdy. So it forces him to, throw a football to Trayvon Diggs when he's sitting on the route, and he can take it the distance the other way. And also, they got to limit the explosive plays.
Oof.
You talk about run after the catch with the San Francisco 49ers. If you do not limit the explosive plays, you stand no chance in this game.
I do wonder if Dallas will decide to go with a little bit more zone in this spot, because if there's one thing about Purdy, he has not been nearly as good against zone this year. QBR just 50, and Dallas doesn't do it a lot. They only play zone about 43% of the time. The key, it's all going to come back to Dak Prescott and what can he do against the San Francisco defense.
It really is going to come back, and this is what everybody is looking for. He passed the test already in week 1 of the wild card weekend. He passed that test in Tampa Bay. Now here's another test. Can you get this team to the NFC Championship game? And here's how you do it if you're Kellen Moore. You spread them out. You get into 3 and 4 receiver sets. You may go empty at times. You do some of the same things that you did against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If you can do that, it will allow him to process the defense much faster, get rid of the football because he sees it cleaner. It also will slow down that pass rush coming from Bosa and Armstead. And if they decide to bring Warner out of the linebacking position or anything that they decide to do from a blitz standpoint, when you spread them out and you get Jimmy Ward on the field in the nickel position, now you're talking about something. If it was me, first person I would look for is Travarius, if I'm saying his name right. Travarius Ward. We could screw up some names. I was going to target him for sure. 9 targets, 7 receptions, 105 yards, and a touchdown against Seattle. And I think when you look at this offense for Dallas, they're a much better offense than Seattle. That's how they win this football game.
All right, up next, we respect it or check it. Who's got more pressure on them this weekend among the quarterbacks, Josh Allen or Joe Burrow? We answer the question in moments. You're listening to Playoff Preview with the Pros on ESPN Radio and Sirius XM Channel 80.
Hanging out with Louisville Hall of Famer Harry Douglas.
Say it one more time again.
Louisville Hall of Famer Harry Douglas. My bad, Evan. I'm just putting some respect. I'm not doing this right, Harry. I'm just putting some respect on your name.
Oh, you gotta use the K. Respect.
That's why that's what I did. Respect. The respect.
Put some respect.
I don't know why it doesn't work right for me, but I'm gonna keep trying.
Fitz and Harry on ESPN Radio. Hello, this is Stacey Huff, host of Hump Nation Sports Zone, Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 92.9 FM ESPN Orangeburg. I'll cover local, national, and worldwide sports topics, and also take a look at the week that was and a look ahead at the week to come. I look forward to having you along for the ride each and every Saturday morning, 10 to 11 a.m. on Orangeburg's ESPN station, 92.9 FM. Hump Nation Sports Zone, a fun trip around the world of sports. This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
As I reach the walkway, someone is walking towards me. It was Paul freaking McCartney. And I did the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Oh, God. I looked over at our section of the pool and yelled to Stace to look over and see what was going on. Thankfully, I didn't yell, "Hey, Paul McCartney is standing right here," but I may as well have. Everyone at the pool, 50 people, look up, and he's kind of got to walk away fast, and the people who he is with are staring at me with exactly the disdain that I deserve. Oh, my God. And I'll tell you, it ruined like 2 days of my trip. Paul McCartney, my idol, my hero. I ruined the Beatles' day. Greeny, weekday mornings from 10 to noon on ESPN Orangeburg, 1580 AM and 92.9 FM.
Welcome to the Smith and Middleton Memorial Center on the campus of South Carolina State University. It's South Carolina State women's basketball on WPJK ESPN Orangeburg. Hi, everybody. I'm Ernest Robinson, along with my broadcast colleague, the Hall of Famer Bill Hamilton, set to bring you all the play-by-play and color pageantry of women's college basketball here on WPJK ESPN Orangeburg. This afternoon, the South Carolina State Lady Bulldogs 1-15 on the season, 0-1 in the MEAC. will take on the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. The Hawks are 4-13 overall, 0-3 in the MEAC. And Bill, you know, when you look at this South Carolina State schedule from last season, Maryland Eastern Shore was a team that South Carolina State was very competitive with. Great opportunity for Tim Eatman and his Lady Bulldogs to get a win here today.
Certainly, it's a winnable game for Coach Tim Eatman's team. You know, they're coming off a tough loss last Saturday on the road to North Carolina Central, 72-55. But they're almost to full roster, Ernest. You know, they've been struggling all year with injured players and COVID and other things. But we get Alicia Fields back, and you know, we get back a couple other players. And then I heard that Nadia Reese won't be playing tonight because of a banged-up ankle.
And you know the thing about Nadia Reese is a tremendous ball player. She's a scorer. She can create her own shot. That's not a small loss, although she is a small person, because Nadia Reese is only about 5'3".
Yeah, she plays awfully big, especially for the Lady Bulldogs. As you said, she can do so many things. She runs the team, and she's capable of hitting from the perimeter, and she can also, as you say, put the ball on the floor and create her own shot. So she'll be missed tonight. I guess Michaela Lump's going to be handling most of the point guard duties this evening.
Now, this is the first of two games. It's a doubleheader here today, because after the girls' game, we'll have a break of about 20 or 30 minutes, and then the South Carolina State men's team, coached by Eric Martin, will take on Maryland Eastern Shore. Bill, that should be an exciting ball game as well.
Oh, you're right. You know, South Carolina State, they're 0-3 in the league with all of the losses coming on the road, but they've been very competitive games, so I expect it to be a really tight game here. Maryland Eastern Shore, of course, is coming off a 68-60 loss to Delaware State. You know, it's arch rival from right up the road there on Highway 13.
It's ironic you mentioned Delaware State, because the Hornets will be in here on Monday, as the Lady Bulldogs and Bulldogs will take on the Hornets on Monday.
Indeed, and so a two-game homestand here for the Lady Bulldogs as well as the South Carolina State men, so got a chance to get a couple wins. They need to play well, though, because both these teams are real feisty.
Now, this is a huge weekend for South Carolina State as a university here in Orangeburg. A lot of recruitment going on this weekend, a lot of students on campus right now. As a matter of fact, Bill, we'll have an influx of students here this afternoon attending this basketball game, and that does something for the atmosphere here in Orangeburg.
And certainly does. You know, having a crowd, you know, it really will inspire a team. But you talk about those students that we're recruiting. That's a part of that commitment that President Conyers, of course, Devion Petty, who's over at Mission, have made, and try to get our enrollment back to those years where we were really, really high.
And we're looking forward to talking with Devion Petty at halftime of the women's game this afternoon. So we'll talk with Devion about recruitment at South Carolina State. If you've got a youngster that's interested in going to college, why they should seriously consider coming to South Carolina State. We'll take a timeout here. It's pregame. South Carolina State's women, the Lady Bulldogs, about to take on the Lady Hawks of Maryland Eastern Shore. You're listening to WPJK, ESPN Orangeburg.
Hi, this is Phil Kornblut, and each weeknight, sports fans across South Carolina come together on Sports Talk here on ESPN Orangeburg, 1580 AM, 92.9 FM. We bring you the latest from the Bulldogs, Gamecocks, and Tigers, interviews with sports personalities, and our on takes on the key issues, plus plenty of your calls. So be sure to join us each weeknight at 6 for Sports Talk, South Carolina's #1 sports talk show, right here on ESPN Orangeburg, 1580 AM, 92.9 FM.
Jason Fitz and Harry Douglas are Fitz and Harry.
There has been a special sauce of Brian Dable and Daniel Jones. I believe that. But I'll go back to like my music roots for a minute. I always tell people if I'd ever been in a bluegrass band, people would have walked by and they'd have been like, that's the worst fiddle player ever. So if I've been in a system for years where they're making me play junky music that I'm no good at, and now finally they let me do what I do, I'm not going to turn around and just credit the people that are coming in and let me do what I do. I'm also going to discredit the people that didn't let me do what I do, which is the previous coaching staff. And I'm also going to look around the music landscape if I'm a free agent and be like, well, what other bands can I do this in? Like, we are simply presuming that there's nobody else in the NFL that can see the skills of Daniel Jones and make it work. It only takes one other team that thinks that they've got the right system in place, that he's comfortable with their coaching staff, and all of a sudden he's going to get paid like a top 5-6 guy.
Fitz and Harry, weekdays at noon Eastern
On ESPN Orangeburg, 1580 AM and 92.9 FM.
Canton and Carlin.
Jim Harbaugh is rumored to have spoken to David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, about their head coaching job.
Yeah, it's a tough decision that David Tepper has to make, but in weighing what direction you want to go in, I don't want it to get lost that Jim Harbaugh is a better coach than Pete Rose. Not just what he did with the San Francisco 49ers, but what he did at Stanford and being able to resurrect that program, what he did at Michigan, being able to resurrect that program. The guy knows how to build programs. But he also comes with a lot of baggage. You can bring in Jim Harbaugh and pay him $20 million a year if you want. I personally would rather ride with the guy that I know my players want to see there and that, frankly, is a fan favorite in my town. When you look at how that team responded after starting 1-4 and firing the head coach, and you look at his standing in that community, hire Steve Wilkes.
Canty and Carlin, weekdays at 3 Eastern
On ESPN Orangeburg, 1580 AM and 92.9 FM.
Hello, this is Stacy Huff, host of Hump Nation Sports Zone, Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. right here on 92.9 FM ESPN Orangeburg. I'll cover local, national, and worldwide sports topics, and also take a look at the week that was and a look ahead at the week to come. I look forward to having you along for the ride each and every Saturday morning, 10 to 11 a.m. on Orangeburg's ESPN station, 92.9 FM. Hump Nation Sports Zone, a fun trip around the world of sports.
Welcome back to the Smith-Hammond Middleton Memorial Center on the campus of South Carolina State University. It's Ernest Robinson and Bill Hamilton set to bring you all the play-by-play of South Carolina State women's basketball this afternoon. Huge Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference battle between Maryland Eastern Shore and South Carolina State. And Bill, when you start conference play, it is starting the season over. These games take on a whole different meaning than those played in December.
You're right, Ernest, and it's kind of like it's a new season for the Lady Bulldogs who struggled all year. We talked about they've only played 2 conference games, you know. They had 2 of their games postponed up against Morgan State and Compton because of COVID-related things, but they'll certainly have an opportunity here tonight to get in the win column if they play well. But it's going to be a tough draw. Maryland Eastern Shore is very talented. And you know Fred Batchelor, their head coach, with North Carolina A&T leaving and going to the Big South and later CAA, Fred Batchelor is now the longest-serving women's coach in this league, because Terrell Robinson at one time held that position.
Fred Batchelor's been in Maryland Eastern Shore for quite some time. Bill has had some success there as well. What's it going to take for Tim Eatman to get this program in that direction? They've played well and they've been competitive, but you have to seal it and close them out.
Yeah, they need to start the game quicker. They struggled. I looked at their stats over years. They've had a terrible first quarter, and likewise in the second quarter. They just haven't played well. And they need to get off to a quick start, much like they did against UNC Greensboro, and went on to win that ball game.
We'll take another quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have today's starting lineups and the tip-off of this afternoon's action. It's South Carolina State women's basketball on WPJK ESPN Orangeburg.
The City of Orangeburg and the Department of Public Utilities are proud to partner with the reigning HBCU national champion South Carolina State University Bulldogs. It takes hard work and dedication to be a winning team, and the Bulldogs are a great example of that spirit. Just like the Bulldogs, the city and DPU work hard to provide championship caliber services to the citizens we serve. We will continue to make use of that Bulldog tenacity to provide a quality of life that our community so richly deserves.
Thank you. Thank you for world-traveling rocket scientists, for tires bigger than your grandma's house, for 3D printing research, for artists in residency. Thank you for all the things that take us to the next level. Thank you for playing the lottery, for funding scholarships, for funding grants, for funding innovation in this state. Thank you. The South Carolina Education Lottery. When you play, we all win.
Hi, I'm Andre Lewis, Sales and Leasing Associate with Dick Dyer, Mercedes-Benz Volvo, and a proud 1982 graduate of South Carolina State University. Dick Dyer and Associates is grateful for the patronage of all those affiliated with the university, and we are excited to be a sponsor of the Bulldog athletic programs. If you're considering purchasing a new or pre-owned Mercedes-Benz or Volvo, we invite you to visit us online at www.dickdyeronline.com. Dick Dyer and Associates, a proud sponsor of South Carolina State Bulldogs.
Did you know Regional Medical Center offers the very latest in technology? From the most advanced imaging equipment, including 3D mammography, to robot-enhanced total joint replacement, to a complete Da Vinci robotic surgical system, Regional Medical Center's skilled providers, orthopedists, surgeons, and women's health specialists provide the most technologically advanced quality care close to you. Regional Medical Center.
Hello, I'm Harold Young, Orangeburg County Administrator. Myself and County Council would like to welcome you to South Carolina State University in Orangeburg County. South Carolina State games are like no other. They are important to the students, the alumni, and especially our community. For those coming back home, welcome to the new Orangeburg, and for those already here, let's continue to make it better. Congratulations to President Alexander Conyers and the South Carolina State University. So let's go Coach Q and lead Bulldogs. Let's get this win, and as always, it's a great day in Orangeburg County. Thank you.
Injured in a car or tractor-trailer accident and don't know what to do? Contact attorney Mark Brown. The Mark Brown Law Firm is a premier injury law firm, available 24/7 to help clients in Orangeburg and all surrounding counties. They recover millions of dollars for clients each year, and there's never a fee unless they win your case. Call attorney Mark Brown of the Mark Brown Law Firm today at 803-848-0008. Again, that's 803-848-0008.
Welcome back to the Smith Hamilton Memorial Center on the campus of South Carolina State University. Ernest Robinson and Bill Hamilton. We just had the playing of the national anthem while we were away, and of course right now we're going to have the introduction of the starting lineups. A couple of presentations going on right now, but Bill, very important game for Tim Meatman, especially this homestand coming up for the Bulldogs. The Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference has always been a place where you have to win the home game. Sometimes you can steal someone's road, but you've got to defend your home court.
You're right, and I remember Cy Alexander, that had all the great success here as the men's coach back in the day. He used to always say, you have to hold serve at home, and that's what the Lady Bulldogs need to do this afternoon. Play well, get off to a good start, and put a win in the column for Tim Eatman.
And so we're going to join the public address announcer, Willie Johnson, for the introduction of the Maryland Eastern Shore Lady Hawks.
At a guard position, a 5'6" freshman from Baltimore, Maryland, number 4, Gila Bannerman. At a guard position, a 5'7" junior from the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 11, Janawa Hayes. At a forward position, a 5'11" sophomore from the Bronx, New York, number 30, Gianna Kennedy. And at a forward position, a 6'2" freshman from Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania, number 33, Lady Allen. Maryland Eastern Shore is coached by Jason Crafton, assisted by Monte Brandon, Kasim Libra, and Matthew Robinson.
All right, Bill, that was the introduction of the Maryland Eastern Shore Lady Hawks. And right now we're going to have the introduction of the South Carolina State Lady Bulldogs. And we'll join the Bulldogs for this presentation. Enjoy, folks.
As of number 1, Michaela at the 4th position. A 5'11" senior from Wayne, Michigan, number 12, Tia Hill. On the 4th position, a 16th result taken from Concord, North Carolina, number 23, Alicia Hill. And on the 4th position, a 5'9" sophomore from Weatherfield, Connecticut, number 24, Nicole Wynn.
So there you have the introductions of the South Carolina State Lady Bulldogs, and here we talked about Alicia Fields playing tonight. What a difference she'll make when you start talking about women's basketball. When you've got a 6'3" center, that can make a difference.
Yeah, you know, I was listening to that introduction. What Alicia Fields being in the lineup really makes a difference to South Carolina State. She's one of the most talented players on the team. Only played in one game last year, but she's played in the last 6 for Eastern team, and she started the last 3 ball games.
South Carolina State and Maryland Eastern Shore colors very similar, except Maryland Eastern Shore, the dark garnet jerseys, black numerals, gray trim. South Carolina State, the all-white jerseys, white trousers, garnet numerals with blue trim. South Carolina State on the front of these shirts. Jumping center, of course, is Alicia Fields for South Carolina State, but it is controlled by Maryland Eastern Shore. And the Lady Hawks with the basketball. This is Jayla Bannerman. Over to the right side, that is Kiara Kennedy. Inside drive. Shot put up and stolen now. Michaela Lumpkin comes away with it. She holds his hand. It's recovered by Bannerman. Bannerman puts up the shot. It's rebounded by South Carolina State and hits the Lady Bulldogs. Up for the Lady Bulldogs. Hinton. With the basketball, Jermaine in the front court. Dribbles toward the right side into the corner. Looking for some help. Tries to go inside. And it is going to be knocked out of bounds. Bill, she's trying to get inside to number 15. Was that Hanathaniel? No, I'm sorry. That was Jay Hicks.
I think you're going to see that a lot. They're going to be trying to get more inside shots.
Long jumper put up and no good by Janai Hinton. It's recovered and rebounded by Maryland Eastern Shore. Mahogany Lester up the floor to Bannerman. Bannerman over to Mahogany Lester. Long three-pointer put up. It's going to be no good. Rebounded by Nicole Gwynn. Quick look the floor is Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn dribbles left side. It's going to get fouled on the foul for Maryland Eastern Shore is Kiara Kennedy. 9:02 to go here. First quarter, no score. Ernest and Bill on WPJK ESPN Orangeburg, South Carolina State women's basketball.
Both teams look a little tighter. They're filling each other out. In these first 3 minutes, no score so far.
Nicole Gwynn will inbound from under the Bulldogs basket along the left baseline. Michaela Lumpkin getting a start this afternoon for Nadia Reese, who is out injured. Brief stoppage in play, and here we go. Nicole will inbound. Does so to Alicia Fields. Starts to drive. Shot is blocked, goes out of bounds. And they're going to say it went off Alicia Fields. I thought it had to be off of Maryland Eastern Shore.
Wow, I thought so too. I was surprised that they gave possession to Maryland Eastern Shore. It looked like Fields was mugged inside there.
No score. Bringing it up to 4 now. Jayla Bannerman gets it over to Mahogany Lester. Lester has it knocked away by Lumpkin. Hinton comes away with it. Tonight with the drive. Shot put up in the end. Tonight with the first basket of the basketball game. Bill, I thought that was an and one, but yeah, no foul call.
A good play by Hinton. Get the steal and take it all the way for the first basket of the night to give away the ball.
Long shot put up and good. That was Mahogany Lester.
And she is dangerous. She's been one of the leading scorers on this team and also one of the long-time veterans.
Hinton top of the key to Fields over to Michaela Lumpkin. Man-to-man defense by Maryland Eastern Shore. Lumpkin has it out front. She's hawked out front over there by Haynes. Fields starts to drive to the basket. Recovers the deflection. Hinton inside to Fields. Puts it up. Misses a shot inside. And Fields commits the foul. A little frustration on Fields. Yeah. Fields, she's had some opportunities there early on.
Yep. Hinton made an outstanding pass to her inside there. She put it up with the left hand but missed it and then committed, sometimes when you miss a shot like that, you commit a foolish foul, and that's what happened that time.
Haynes loses the handle over there. It's recovered by Kennedy. Starting to drive for Maryland Eastern Shore. Shot is blocked on the drive. That was Amara Haynes. And they're going to call the foul on South Carolina State.
Yeah, Hicks was called for the infraction, but I thought it was a clean block. It certainly looked that way. Number 12 was called on her.
Bill, am I losing my mind? Did Maryland Eastern Shore score?
They did. Lester.
Okay, that's right. Shot. So Amara Haynes with the free throw line. She's a 68% free throw shooter for any team. This is a very good foul shooting team.
And that makes a difference, especially in close ball games. When you get those opportunities at the line, you got to knock them down.
Amara Haynes went to Hotep Institute in Philadelphia. She averages just about 11 points a game. She'll have another attempt coming. It's airborne. It is no good. Fought for rebounded by Maryland Eastern Shore. That was Allen. Inside pass to Laney Allen. Laney Allen is fouled. That's going to be on Alicia Fields.
That's her second one.
She's going to have to come out of the game.
Yeah, she's going to have to come out.
7:37 to go, and quickly up off the bench for South Carolina State. That is lovely Sonier. No, Fields stays in. Well, now she can come in. So Fields is going to come out.
Yeah, just less than 3 minutes into the ball game, Fields has been playing well in the 4 ball games that she's been in, but she got the 2.
Laney Allen's a 6'2 freshman from Plymouth Meeting, Philadelphia. This is the first one, Plymouth Meeting, Pennsylvania. I never heard of Plymouth Meeting.
I have not either.
I have any idea where that is.
I do not either.
Laney Allen, 6'2", second attempt is up. It is good. So it's 4-2 Maryland Eastern Shore. Full court pressure by the Lady Hawks. Nicole Gwynn in the backcourt. Hawked over there by Allen. Gets it to Sonier. Up the floor to Hicks. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Hinton. That's Hinton.
Yeah, deny Hinton.
Over to Sonier. Sonier looking for some help. Has it stolen. Taken away with the steal. That was Haynes. Zamar. Nice give and go to Jayla Bandman for the bucket, and it's 6-2 Maryland Eastern Shore. Lumpkin up the floor. Hinton. Over to Hicks. Top of the key, Hicks gives it over to Lumpkin. Lumpkin starts a drive, lays it up, and it rattles in. Michaela Lumpkin gets the bucket.
Good move by Lumpkin. Nobody came to help her. She went straight to the hole, and that's what they teach you to do.
6-4 Maryland Eastern Shore, 6:50 to go here first quarter. Quickly up the floor, all the Hawks. Inside pass is stolen by Michaela Lumpkin, and here come the Lady Bulldogs, trailing by 2. 6:40 to go first quarter. Lumpkin takes it all the way to the hoop, lays it up and in. Michaela Lumpkin
with the left hand that time. Two-state basketball, Lumpkin. Both of them coming inside.
Lamar Haynes up the floor. Hawked over there by Janiyah Hinton. Haynes starts to dribble drive. Dribbles, inside pass. Beautiful pass inside to the big girl. Allen for the bucket. What a play by Zamar Haynes.
Yeah, made an excellent pass.
Nicole Gwynn, the leading scorer of the Bulldogs, dribbles up the floor, goes left side. This is Hinton for 3. It's off the back of the rim, tapped up. Nice rebound, Sonier. Sonier puts up the shot, lefty up and good. And foul.
I tell you what, Sonier, she's a really very talented, very tough player, plays inside, and can rebound for a guard.
What won't go in the books was the fact that Jaya Hicks kept her alive by tapping it up so Sonier could get it.
Off that rebound, yep. You got number 13 came in. She's a new addition to the Lady Bulldog roster. That's Raquel
Reed. They played last year.
She did.
She played last year.
She's been hurt most of this year.
Hicks comes out. Sonier's free throw is no good. Fought for Reed. Fought for it, but went out of bounds. This last touch by Maryland Eastern Shore. Coming into the game for Maryland Eastern Shore is Ariana Sewell, a 6'2 sophomore from the Bronx. Nicole Gwynn will inbound along the left baseline, does so out front to Sonier. Sonier starts the drive, inside pass to Gwynn. Gwynn puts up the shot. They say she traveled. The score is tied at 8. 5:59 to go here first quarter.
She had the right idea to do the fake, but she moved that pivot foot.
Full court pressure by South Carolina State, man-to-man pressure. In the backcourt, brings up the field, up the court is Maya Thomas. Thomas over to Allen, back out front now. Thomas with the top of the kick. Thomas looks right, gets it to Haynes. Haynes, inside pass. And shot put up and in. Wow, what a play by Ariana Sewell. I thought that was an offensive foul.
One of their top reserves off the bench. She does a good job for him in a reserve role.
Hitting up the floor to Sonier. Sonier drew the foul on the floor. So a foul on Sewell. So Sewell's come in. Oh, they called it on Haynes. I thought it was Sewell. It's 10-8 Maryland Eastern Shore. Bulldogs at the basketball. Nicole Gwynn inbounds from under the basket. Gwynn throws it out front to Michaela Lumpkin. Lumpkin shouting instructions. The Lady Bulldogs trail by 2. 5:27 to go first quarter. Ernest Robinson, Bill Hamilton, WPJK. Hinton with the basketball. Hands over to Lumpkin. Top of the key. Left side Nicole Gwynn. Three-pointer attempt is up. It's off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Sonier. No look pass inside to Reed. Reed has it blocked and recovered by Maryland Eastern Shore. A lot of unselfishness for South Carolina State. Maya Thomas in the front court. Gets it over to Jayla Bannerman. Bannerman goes to out front. Bannerman for 3. It's no good. It's rebounded by Rakeya Reed.
Bannerman and the last out, and she was 3 for 3 from behind the arc.
Lumpkin goes baseline. Reed short with the shot, rebounded by Sonier. Sonier with the hustle. They're on the floor. It's going to be jump ball call. A lot of hustle on both these teams.
Yeah, looks like possession is going to stay with South Carolina State.
There's a timeout on the floor with 4:46 to go here in the first quarter. Our score, Maryland Eastern Shore 10, South Carolina State 8. We'll have more Lady Bulldog basketball after this timeout.
The biggest names in sports are on ESPN Radio.
We are talking to Christian Kirk, wide receiver for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Offense, defense, special teams, just coming together, and that's what's helped us, especially in some of these close games against, better opponents.
Pleased to be joined by Tony Baselli, Pro Football Hall of Famer.
For me, if I was voting, which I'm not, I would not let one game impact my voting for Jalen Hurts. I think right now, he is the MVP.
Talking to 5-time All-Star and 18-year NHL vet Chris Pronger.
Those other guys, they need to feel 100% both mentally and physically before they're willing to fight. Some organizations don't like first-time hurt. Others, they're okay with it.
Bills All-Pro safety George Poyer is with us.
That's one thing I learned about playing Tom Brady throughout the years. You're constantly out there playing chess. Everybody else is out there playing chess.
The biggest names in sports come here. And it all starts weekday mornings with Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max. And continues all day on ESPN Orangeburg, 1580 AM and 92.9 FM.
Welcome back to the Smith-Hammond Middleton Memorial Center and the Robinson Bill Hamilton, bringing you all the exciting action of South Carolina State women's basketball. 10-8 is our early score. Maryland Eastern Shore leading. South Carolina State has the basketball. Nicole Gwynn will inbound from under the Bulldog basket. The Bulldogs going from right to left here in Orangeburg. Nicole Gwynn inbounds. Having a problem, gets it out front. Now it's stolen over there, knocked away, but Michaela Lumpkin runs it down in the backcourt. Difficulty on that inbound pass. Here comes Lumpkin across the timeline.
Yeah, he's had a little problem all night. During the timeout, Tiana Walls came in the game for South Carolina State.
Walls at the basketball, back over to Lumpkin. Lumpkin throws for a long 3. It's no good, and there's a shot clock violation and not a good possession for Tim Eatman's Lady Bulldogs.
I was wondering why she threw that up, but the clock was running down the shot clock, so she had to throw it up there, but it didn't draw iron.
Jamal Haynes inbounds to Maya Thomas, back over to Haynes. Of the floor, or the Hawks. Over Mahogany Lester, back over to Haynes. Haynes drives, inside pass, gets caught with the travel. It looked good, Bill. That was for a highlight, but she traveled.
Yes, it did. Dragged that pretty good. It looked pretty, though. It really looked pretty.
10-8 Maryland Eastern Shore. Bulldogs against the pressure. Nicole Gwynn across the timeline. Nicole Gwynn throws it away. And she and Tiana Walls, a little discussion on what they were doing. And the Bulldogs seemed to be organized.
Yeah, Nicole Gwynn just been showing her patience that time because she wasn't pressured that much, so she just didn't make a good pass.
Myron Thomas across the timeline for Maryland Eastern Shore over to Haynes on the left wing. Haynes caught by Michaela Lumpkin. Top of the key, long shot put up by Morgan. Is good, 3-pointer. That is Amaya Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan, she's very capable from behind the arc.
Hinton over to Nicole Gwynn, starts to drive. Puts up the floater. It's good. That's what I want to see her do, Bill. Attack the basket and stop and pull up.
She needs to do more of that. You know, you're right, Ernest.
13-10. Lady Bulldogs still by 3. Man-to-man pressure. Inside pass by Thomas. It's knocked away. She recovers it. Puts up the shot. It's no good. Fought for. Rebounded by Kiana Walls. And here come the Lady Bulldogs. Walls will pull up. Out front to Michaela Lumpkin. Lumpkin left wing now to Nicole Gwynn. Top of the key, Lumpkin. Right side, Tiana. Top of the key is Michaela Lumpkin. 2-3 matchup zone now. Passes. Looks like the pass was kicked. It's recovered by Marilyn Easton. Show up the floor. Myra Thomas puts it up. Bill, the girl stuck a foot out and
that was
the basketball.
intentional. You know, normally the ball hits your foot if it's not intentional. It's got to be a foul there.
I don't know. It's Ariana Sewell. That would be her second foul. 15-10. Marilyn Easton Shore's lead is 5.
It's important, Ernest, that South Carolina State stays close. You know, we talked about from the outset of them starting slowly.
Saunier back in the game. Janai Hinton back in the game. Hinton's going to inbound. Hicks, Hinton, Saunier, Kiana Walls, and Michaela Lumpkin. Lumpkin with the basketball out front.
Now Nation Shore is going from man-to-man to a zone.
Hicks at the free throw line. Starts to drive, and she travels. 15-10, a critical point for South Carolina State, down by 5, 2:46 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, just a few moments ago it was tied up 8-8, and they've gone on a 7-2 run by Nation Shore.
Thomas across the timeline. Thomas dribbles to him, goes into the corner. Long shot put up, no good. Rebounded by Sewell, put back up. Sewell missed the shot. It's saved by Saunier to Hinton. Here come the Lady Bulldogs.
So Sewell got away with it over the back that time, Nation Shore.
Lumpkin with the basketball on the left wing, top of key Hinton. Bulldogs attacking right to left. Hinton switches now, gives over to Lumpkin. Lumpkin goes right wing to Tiana Walls. Top of key Lumpkin, left side Hinton. Hicks. I'm sorry, Hinton, I was right the first time. I'm getting Hicks and Hinton.
Shot clock winding down.
Janai Hinton back over to Michaela Lumpkin. Lumpkin with 3 seconds. Got to throw up a shot. It's off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Marilyn Easton Shore. I don't think Saunier knew Marilyn Easton Shore had players around her. Maya Thomas with the dribble drive. Throws up the floater. It's no good. It's fought for, and it'll be a turnover to South Carolina State.
Lady Bulldogs are showing a lot of energy, a lot of hustle. You know, hope it pays off and they can stay close in this game.
Lumpkin against full court pressure by Marilyn Easton Shore. Looks like a 1-2-2 press. Lumpkin over to Tiana Walls across the timeline, hitting with it in the front court. Gives over to Lumpkin, and here come the Lady Bulldogs running their offense, trailing by 5 with a minute and a half to go here in the first quarter. Tiana Walls, right baseline to lovely Saunier. Saunier calls the drive, and they call Saunier for carrying the basketball. Or did she call a foul?
I think the double hands, you know, when you put both hands on them like that, they usually call a foul.
Michaela Lumpkin will come out, Bill. She's been in the entire game. Nicole Gwynn comes back in.
Yeah.
Saunier's at the free throw line for the Lady Bulldogs.
I expect sometime tonight that we'll see Shadeja Ziegler in that guard.
Saunier misses the first free throw. She's a 66% free throw shooter.
And she's missed both her opportunities tonight. She had that one opportunity earlier, couldn't convert.
Saunier's second attempt is up and good. 15-11 is her score. In the backcourt, Sumter has it. Sumter gets it over to Cassie Wilson. Wilson against the pressure. Gets it up the floor to Michaela Thomas. Back over to Maya Thomas. Inside pass to Sewell. Sewell spins. It's blocked by Hicks at the jump ball. What a play by Jaya Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks was right there when she made that turn to go up.
Official called it. A lot of times officials will miss that and call a foul.
Call a foul, you're right.
Oh, now they're giving the ball to...
Well, they call it alternate possession.
Right.
Yeah. South Carolina State got the first one.
Marilyn Easton Shore with Adams with the long three. It's off the back of the rim, rebounded by Nicole Gwynn. Up the floor is Nicole Gwynn for South Carolina State. She wears 24. SC State across the front of her jersey. Under a minute to go, first quarter. Ernest and Bill on WPJK. Janai Hicks, right wing with the basketball. With top of the key to Saunier. Motion offense by South Carolina State. Sonia with the dribble alive. Hand over to Tiana Walls. Walls right wing now to Janai Hinton. Looks at the shot clock, 6 seconds. Nicole Gwynn will fire. Steph Curry range is no good. Rebounded by Sonia. Sonia spins inside, puts up the shot, drew the foul, and Sonia's got to make these free throws.
She does. You know, it's a very important to stay close here. So, I've been impressed with the lovely Sonia all year. She's a really good rebounder from her guard position. In fact, she leads South Carolina State in rebounds this year.
Sonia will be shooting 2 with 35.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. We trail 15-11. First attempt is airborne, and it's off the back of the rim. No art on that side.
Not at all. And she's 1 for 4, and she's normally a pretty good free throw shooter.
66%, but that's going to drop here this afternoon.
Indeed.
Second attempt is up and good. 15-12 now. Coming into the game for South Carolina State is number 15. That is Hanafa Neal. Neal will replace Sonia. Man-to-man, you can hear Tim Eatman making sure that Giant knew who she had. Man-to-man, full-court pressure by the Lady Bulldogs. Up the floor to Maya Thomas. Here comes the Lady Hawks. Thomas, inside pass to Michaela Adams. Blocked by Hicks. What a play by Jaya Hicks.
Second block of the night for Jaya Hicks.
And that was a bucket.
Yes, indeed.
15-12. Maryland Eastern Shore the basketball. 20 seconds and counting to go in the first quarter. Kashay Wilson with the basketball. Hanafa Neal. Now switches with Tiana Walls. Inside pass to Adams. Puts up and in. Nice shot inside. Leslie Thomas, they found her inside, 17-12.
Yep, somebody lost that man that time.
Nicole Gwynn took a shot at it at the buzzer, and that is the way the first quarter will end here in Orangeburg. Our score, Maryland Eastern Shore 17, South Carolina State 12. We'll have more Lady Bulldog basketball after this timeout.
Bulldog Nation is home to some of the most loyal fans in the nation. No one represents their team quite like you do. Do you ever wish your financial institution would treat you with the same kind of loyalty? Relax. Founders puts members first. Founders offers a diverse selection of financial tools and services designed to make your life easier. Get the 5-star member service you deserve. Visit RelaxJoinFounders.com to apply for membership today. Founders is federally insured by the NCUA.
Prisma Health has OBGYN locations across the Midlands and Upstate, providing advanced care for every stage of a woman's life. Whether it's the first gynecology visit, planning a family, or managing menopause. Our compassionate OBGYN specialists are dedicated to helping women keep their busy lives in balance by staying healthy and strong. More expertise for women to help you be your healthiest you. Learn more about our services for women at prismahealth.org/balance.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Smith-Hammond Middleton Memorial Center on the campus of South Carolina State. Ernest Robinson and Bill Hamilton. First quarter score, Maryland Eastern Shore 17, South Carolina State 12. But Bill, we make our free throws and it's a tie game.
You're right, and that's been the Achilles heel of South Carolina State tonight at least. Not hitting those free throws.
So Maryland Eastern Shore, South Carolina State will have the basketball. It'll be South Carolina State's Janai Hinton, Nicole Gwynn, Countdown Walls. Lovely Sonia and Jay Hicks is hitting inbound to Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn will bring across the timeline, shouting instructions right in front of me. Zone defense by, looks like a 3-2 zone for Maryland Eastern Shore. They lob it inside to Sonia, back over to Hicks for 3. It's off the front of the rim, rebounded over there by Sonia. She lost it. It's recovered by Maryland Eastern Shore, and here come the Lady Hawks. Back into the ball game for Maryland Eastern Shore. Haynes with the basketball in the corner. Michaela Adams. Long 3 is no good. Rebounded by Hicks, and here come the Bulldogs. They want to run. Hicks takes it the distance, spins, puts it up, and is fouled from Adams.
Good move there by Hicks to draw that foul. You know, he had a breakaway there. Opportunity for two more free throws. I guess it's not a shooting foul.
I think it is a shooting foul.
It is a shooting foul.
Yep, there was no way that wasn't a shooting foul. Michaela Adams goes out of the game for Maryland Eastern Shore. Mahogany Lester comes back in. Hicks at the free throw line for South Carolina State. First attempt is off the back of the rim, and boy, we're having problems at the free throw line.
The Lady Bulldogs are just 2 for 6 from the line, and that's awfully tough to miss that many free throws.
Second attempt is up and rattles and rolls in. 17-13 to score, 9:27 to go here in the first half. Full court pressure by South Carolina State. Up the floor is Maya Thomas. Quickly inside, and she gets fouled on the floor.
Boy, Maya Thomas, she can move.
She pushes the envelope. So, coming into the game, Lumpkin will replace Hinton for South Carolina State. Inbounding will be, is that Cache Wilson? That is Cache Wilson inbounding for Maryland Eastern Shore. Wilson inbounds it. To Thomas for 3. It's no good. Fall for tapped out by Tatiana Walls. Sonia comes down with the rebound. Good job by Tiana to knock it out. Here comes Gwen for South Carolina State. 17-13. The Lady Hawks lead a score. 9 minutes to go first half. Gwen running the point.
Too much dribbling, I think.
Starts to drive now with the left hand out front to Michaela Lumpkin. Thought about the three-pointer. Michaela Lumpkin stops. 17-footer. He's off the front of the rim. Rebounded by Sonia. Sonia puts it back up and in. And we'll have an opportunity for a three-point play.
Good rebound and put back by Sonia. Lovely Sonia. We talked about her early in her rebounding ability. She leads South Carolina State in rebounding, coming in with over 7 per game.
17-15 is the score. Lovely Sonia.
Chance to pull South Carolina State to within a single point.
Sophomore from San Francisco, California. Free throw attempt is up and good. 17-16 is the 1-point Hawk lead. Here come the Lady Hawks up the floor with the basketball. Going to be knocked out of bounds. The turnover. Amaya Morgan lost the handle. It goes out of bounds. It'll be South Carolina State's basketball.
A good pass there for Morgan.
Quickly up off the Maryland Eastern Shore bench is Zamar Haynes. So you got Nicole Gwynn, Michaela Lumpkin, lovely Sonia, Tatiana Walls, and Jay Hicks for South Carolina State. For Maryland Eastern Shore, you got Ariana Sewell, Lumpkin in the backcourt, over to Michaela Gwynn. Nicole Gwynn over to Janiyah Hicks. Lumpkin with the basketball. Left wing now Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn starts to drive over to Hicks. 16-footers up off the front of the rim, rebounded by Sewell. She'll get it out to Cache Wilson. Up the floor for Maryland Eastern Shore. That was Haynes. She lost the handle. Now back out front, they start over with Cache Wilson. Wilson over to Bannerman inside to Sewell. Lays it up, misses, shot inside, fall for rebounded. Good fighting inside by South Carolina.
Mahogany Lester. She's tough. We haven't heard much from her tonight. I think she only has 2 points, but she's capable of exploding any time.
She averages 6.6 points per game, 4 rebounds a game. Quickly up off the Bulldogs bench is Jada Reed coming back in the ball game. Also coming back in for South Carolina State is Asia Smith. So at the free throw line, Mahogany Lester is a 79% free throw shooter.
She looked awfully good on that one.
79%. 18-16 is the Maryland Eastern Shore lead. That's the second attempt is up. It's off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Tatiana Walls. Walls gives over Michaela Lumpkin, and the Bulldogs are right there trailing by 2. 8 minutes to go first half. Lumpkin across the timeline on the left wing. Passes top to keep to Tatiana Walls. Walls back over to Lumpkin. Lumpkin out front. Looks like a 2-3 zone defense built by Maryland Eastern Shore.
Yeah, they started the game man-to-man, and they changed it.
That foul on Maryland Eastern Shore. Tiana Walsh with the pass over there.
Look like that's Mahogany Lester with the foul.
Yep. So the Lady Bulldogs will inbound. Asia Smith will inbounds for South Carolina State along the right baseline out front to Michaela Lumpkin. 7:30 to go here first half. Bulldogs trail by 2. Free throw line is Neal. Neal stops, puts up the shot. It's blocked. Went off her knee, goes out of bounds. It's going to be Maryland Eastern Shore's basketball.
Yeah, that's Asia Smith, number 14.
That's Neal. That is Asia Smith.
Dribbling kind of off her leg.
Full court pressure by South Carolina State in the backcourt. This is Cache Wilson. Gets it over to Bannerman. Bannerman inside to Sewell. Sewell puts up the shot. It's no good. Sewell will go to the free throw line. Sewell averages just about 8 points a game, though she's a 63% free throw shooter. She'll have 2 here.
Yeah, she's one of the tallest players on the team, and you can see they work real hard to try and get her down there on the block, get some easy opportunities.
Sewell's first attempt is good. Sewell is from the Bronx, New York, with the Harry S. Truman High School in the Bronx.
Wow. We know about New York. That's a basketball mecca.
Second attempt is up and good. 19-16 is the Maryland Eastern Shore lead. Bulldogs Nicole Gwynn will give it over to Lumpkin. Excuse me, folks. Nicole Gwynn back over Lumpkin, top of the key. Lumpkin over to Hicks. Nicole Gwynn now with the basketball. And you're going to call 3 seconds on South Carolina State.
Yeah, she was in there a little bit too long.
So it'll be Maryland Eastern Shore basketball. Kasha Wilson will bring it across the timeline. Wilson walks it up. Bulldogs back in the zone now. Long shot put up off the back of the rim, rebounded by Maryland Eastern Shore. Bulldogs didn't block out, got lucky there.
Yeah, you're right. You know, South Carolina State gives up too many offensive boards.
Nicole Gwynn over to Lumpkin, back over to Nicole Gwynn across the timeline. 6:38 to go here first half. Nicole Gwynn crossover dribble in the right corner, looking for a shot, can't get one. Knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Maryland Eastern Shore.
You know, when you dribble over in the corner like that,
you dribble into a trap.
Yeah, the sideline becomes an extra defender. You don't want to ever do that.
Nicole Gwynn inbounds to Michaela Lumpkin out front. Lumpkin handling the basketball. 6:25 to go here first half. We trail about 4:20-16. Lumpkin top of the key, Sonier. Sonier free throw line, Nicole Gwynn. Too easy, she misses the shot right at the free throw.
Wow, yeah, she had point blank right there, just didn't finish.
Up the floor now for Maryland Eastern Shore. Haynes throws up the floor, it's off the front of the rim, rebounded by Lester. Lester Hustle gets it back and will be fouled by Nicole Gwynn. I thought she had all ball.
I thought so too. At the very least, it should have been a jump ball.
Coming into the game now for Maryland Eastern Shore is Mike Thomas. She replaced Cassie Wilson, who did a pretty good job running the court while she was there. Maryland Eastern Shore, we had a whistle. Janiah Hicks will come back in. Jayla Hicks will come back in. Lakaya Reed will sit down. So it'll be Maryland Eastern Shore basketball under their own basket. Inbounds to Lester. This is Thomas with the basketball. Thomas goes left wing now into the corner of the Haynes. Oh, my, what dribbling. Haynes lays it up. Oh, my goodness. Beautiful play by Haynes. Boy, my goodness. Early Neal in the corner.
Showtime, yeah, she looked awfully good that time.
Bulldogs across the timeline. Nicole Gwynn gets it over to Michaela Lumpkin. 22-16, we trail by 6. Another critical point of the game for the Bulldogs. 5.5 to go here first half.
6-point deficit, yeah, you don't want to get... You want to stay close and have a chance.
Nicole Gwynn out front with the basketball. Right wing now is Michaela Lumpkin. Lumpkin starts a dribble drive. Bounce pass inside to Gwynn. Gwynn lays it up and in, but what a dive from Michaela Lumpkin.
Excellent pass there. Gwynn had the defender on her back, and she just turned around and put it in.
Bannerman hands over to Haynes. Haynes with the basketball. No look pass stolen by Sonier. 3-on-1 break. Bounce pass to Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn back over to Lumpkin. Lumpkin. This is a layup. Oh, my goodness.
Unselfish play there.
Bannerman with the drive. And Bannerman, I thought he initiated the contact with the drive, but a good call by the official.
Yeah, she is really... She had a big game in the loss to Delaware State early in the week. You know, she had 14 points. She was 3 for 3 from behind the arc. in that loss to Delaware State on Saturday.
4:49 to go here in the first half. I'm Robinson, Bill Hamilton. You're listening to South Carolina State Lady Bulldog basketball on WPJK, ESPN Orangeburg. And Bill, how do you tell your kids to keep the basketball and shoot it yourself? You know, Nicole Gwynn trying to be unselfish, but would have been better off just playing it up.
Yeah, I know. I just think we need to come on more picks and screens. I know that zone defense is bothersome, but we got to get more open looks. We have too many empty trips down court. Too many empty trips.
The score is 22 for Maryland Eastern Shore, 18 for South Carolina State. It's a 4-point game, so Lady Bulldogs are right there. But again, we talked about for South Carolina State defending your home court. Looking at the scores this afternoon for South Carolina State, Bulldogs being led by lovely Sonier off the bench with 7 points. Nicole Gwynn with 4 points and Michaela Lumpkin with 4 points. But Bulldogs have got to generate some offense.
Yeah, the stats look kind of even on, but the scoreboard is a big difference.
Bulldogs are actually out-rebounding Maryland Eastern Shore 18-17, but it tells you how tight the game is. 4:49 to go here in the first half.
Lady Bulldogs got 8 turnovers just to only 5 from Maryland Eastern Shore. And of course, the Lady Bulldogs have missed 4 free throws tonight.
At the free throw line for Maryland Eastern Shore will be number 4. That is Jayla Bannerman. Tiana Walls, Jay Hicks, Nicole Gwynn, lovely Sonier, and Michaela Lumpkin for South Carolina State. Bannerman, Lester Sewell. First attempt is up and good for Maryland Eastern Shore. Kiara Kennedy has come back into the game for Maryland Eastern Shore. Bannerman's first free throw is up and good. 23-18. That second one is up and good. 24-18.
Excuse me, she got an unusual delivery there, but she's true on both of those.
Nicole Gwynn in the backcourt. Across the timeline now. Over to Tiana Walls. Walls gives it over to Lumpkin, and the Bulldogs are winning the offense, trailing by 6. 4:35 to go here in the first half. Nicole Gwynn on the left wing. Nicole Gwynn starts a dribble drive, passes right side to Lumpkin. Nearly threw it away. Got it back over to Gwynn, top of the key. Hicks on the left wing. 8 seconds inside Sonier. Sonier in the corner to Tiana Walls. Lady Bulldogs got to throw up a shot. Nicole Gwynn does. And it's rebounded by Sonier. Sonier puts up the follow and no foul call. But they're going out of bounds. It's off Maryland Eastern Shore. So the Lady Bulldogs will maintain possession with 18 seconds on the shot clock, trailing by 6 with 4:14 to go here in the first half. Nicole Gwynn on the left baseline will inbound. Gwynn inbounds to Sonier. The pass is knocked away. It'll be off Lester. So it'll be South Carolina State basketball.
That's early, but lovely Sonier already has 6 rebounds for South Carolina State.
Sonier will come out. Raquel Reed will come in for the Lady Bulldogs. On the left baseline, under the basket is Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn having a problem, has to throw way out front to Lumpkin. Lumpkin hawked over there by Bannerman. Lumpkin shouting instructions now. Left wing is Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn puts up a long three-pointer. It's off the rim. It's rebounded by Maryland Eastern Shore. And here comes Bannerman up the floor for Maryland Eastern Shore. Right corner now. Traveling with the basketball. Kiara Kennedy.
That's number 30 over there, Kiara Kennedy.
24-18 now. Lady Bulldogs trail by 6 with 3:51 to go here in the first half. Nicole Gwynn will bring it across the timeline. Gwynn goes right side to Tiana Walls. Walls on the right wing. Passes top of the key now to Reed. Left wing is Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn, top of the key now is Hicks. Too far for her. Reed on the right wing. And stolen. Taking it away is Bannerman. Bannerman on Lumpkin, lays it up and in. What a nice play over there.
You know, she was right there playing the lane.
I thought that was 4. That was 5. That's Jayla Bannerman. That's Thomas. Nicole Gwynn across the timeline for the Lady Bulldogs. So we trail by 8. Biggest lead of the night now for Maryland Eastern Shore. And Tim even recognizes that, wants to take a 30-second timeout. We'll take a quick timeout with 3:12 to go here in the first half. It's 26-18 Maryland Eastern Shore. More Lady Bulldog basketball after these messages.
You've been working hard, doing the right thing, and paying your taxes, and putting your hard-earned money in the Medicare piggy bank all your life. And now it's time to break the piggy bank and get something back. Medicare. If you didn't know it, Medicare is health insurance for people over 65, and you paid for it with your tax dollars. Medicare plans now have more benefits than ever. That's good news, especially if you're like me and looking forward to paying as little as possible for good health insurance. Call and find out what Medicare plan is best for you. Save your time. It's valuable. We've already done the research for you. And in one quick phone call, you can learn how to get the best Medicare plan designed exactly for you. Hey, it's one of the most important decisions in your life. Let us help you through it. Here's our number. Call 65 Plus Medicare now at 800-880-3141, 800-880-3141. 800-880-3141. That's 800-880-3141.
Welcome back to the Smith Hammond Middleton Memorial Center on the campus of South Carolina State. Ernest Robinson and Bill Hamilton. 26-18, Maryland Eastern Shore leading the South Carolina State Lady Bulldogs in a critical juncture of the game here, Bill, for the Lady Bulldogs.
Yeah, biggest lead of the night for Maryland Eastern Shore of the afternoon. 26-18 is kind of getting away from the Lady Bulldogs. They need to make a dent into this lead very soon.
The Lady Bulldogs have the basketball in the front court. 19 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Mikhail Lumpkin will inbound to Nicole Gwynn, and she does so. 1-3-1 zone, looks like. No, it's like a 2-3 matchup zone now. Mikhail Lumpkin with the basketball out front. Dribbles toward the right wing. Lobs it across the floor to Sonier. Sonier stops and gets the layup to ball. Boy, I thought Sonier missed it, Bill.
Yeah, good recognition there by Mikhail Lumpkin to find Sonier inside.
26-20 now in the front court is Maryland Eastern Shore. Kennedy had it knocked away. Nicole Gwynn, what a steal. Lumpkin comes away with it, and here come the Lady Bulldogs. Over to Nicole Gwynn. Gwynn starts to drive. This is where I want to stop and shoot, but she goes baseline to Hicks. Hicks lays it up and in. Jumper from about 14 feet out. And Fred wants a timeout. Good timeout before by Tim Eatman. 26-22 now. The Lady Bulldogs have cut it to full bill. But what a critical timeout before by Tim Eatman to get his team together.
They've come back and scored 4 straight points to cut that lead in half down to 4 points, 26-22. And they've had some really good offensive recognizing where each other are on the court and getting easy opportunities for the teammates.
It started with the play after the timeout.
Yes.
When Lumpkin found Sonier under the basket alone.
And at that time, Gwynn, of course, found the Hicks set up right there on the baseline, and Hicks knocked it down to cut it down to 4.
You know, it's really fun watching Tim Eatman coach because he's almost like a chess master with the way he moves the kids around and puts them in the position to be successful. So it'll be Maryland Eastern Shore's basketball.
Yeah, he's very energetic, and I like to see something good happen for the Lady Bulldogs, and of course Tim Eatman. They've had real struggles this entire season.
Bannerman inbounds the basketball to Maya Thomas, and she'll bring it across the timeline. 2-3 zone by South Carolina State. Thomas with the drive, goes left side, Sewell. 17-footer is good. My goodness, Bill.
The big girl goes outside and
17-footer. 28-22. In the front court is lovely Sonier. Double teamed over there. Sonier splits the double team, gets it over to Lumpkin out front. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Bulldogs trail by 6, 28-22. She'll hand over to Nicole Gwynn out front. Gwynn dribbles toward the left wing. Gwynn across the floor, baseline to Hicks. Hicks, 16-footer. South the rim, rebounded by Sonier. Sonier to move inside, tries to flip it back to Hicks. It's fought for on the service, and it looks like it'll go toward
Maryland Eastern Shore possession, it looks like.
28-22, 1:50 to go here in the first half. Critical turnover there for South Carolina State Bulldogs. Really needed a bucket on that possession.
Indeed. They need to stay engaged. Down by 6, possibly be down by 8.
Maya Thomas across the timeline. Maya doesn't do anything slow. Hands over to Bannerman. Goes over the left on the left wing. Sewell wants it inside. Can't get it to it. Back out front to Bannerman. Over to Maya Thomas. Back over to Anderson. Long three-pointer. It's off the back of the rim. Rebounded by lovely Sonia and the Bulldogs. So give over to Nicole Gwynn, and here we come. Lumpkin up the floor. Back over to Nicole Gwynn. Three-pointer's good. Nicole Gwynn finally got her shot. And the spot she wanted it.
Indeed, and she made it. Cut that lead in half.
28-25. A minute 10 to go first half. Maya Thomas, I thought she traveled. Steal by Kiana Walls. Walls up the floor. Walls takes it herself. It's blocked. What a beautiful block by Lester, but Walls, I thought did the right thing, Bill. She looked her off. I mean, yeah.
I thought she was going to drop it off to a teammate breaking on the left.
Nicole Gwynn will inbound along the left baseline. Out front to Hicks.